Is astrology a guide to aid us in mastering the universe? This is the Cosmic Community Podcast with Galactic Ambassador Stacey Dredd. Hey everyone, thanks for being tuned in to KPOV 88.9 FM, your high desert community radio in Bend, Oregon. I hope you're having a good day. This is Stacey Dredd, Galactic Ambassador in the Cosmic Community. That's our astrology program here on KPOV every Tuesday, 4:30 to 5 p.m., where we discuss the week's planetary and lunar influences, how the energies may be felt in our day-to-day, and also how to work within the cycles of the universe to create a more benevolent life for all. So thank you so much for making time and space in your day-to-day to receive these messages. You can also access the archive on kpov.org, the Cosmic Community show page. I have a YouTube channel where I post the reports weekly. That's the Cosmic Community Astrology on YouTube. And I have a Facebook page, the Cosmic Community Astrology, where you can follow also. It is a full moon week, and I don't know if anybody was out in the evening time last night, but it was a pretty special one with the moon and Mars actually having a conversation. The moon passed right over Mars, and we just had the basically the quarter moon, so it was like a half of a full moon, and so you could see Mars pretty good. It happened basically during the High Desert Co-op last night, my other radio program here, 8 to 10 on Monday nights. So we watched that happen, and Mars is our physical body. Mars is our warrior spirit in terms of astrology, in terms of what Mars represents. That is very much a go-getter attitude that Mars carries. It's like action-oriented, very much linear fashion, starting here and getting there, completing goals, getting your tasks completed. Mars reminds us of the things that we care about and the things that we fight for and the things that we have a warrior spirit around. And the moon represents our emotions, our feelings, our day-to-day routines. The moon is also very much a feminine energy, and Mars being a more masculine energy. And so these two, things meeting each other. I was going to say planetary influences, but we have a lunar influence and a planetary influence here. Of course, they're many, many miles away from each other. From our vantage point here on Earth, though, that was very cool to watch Mars make a transit underneath the moon and sort of reappear. So very cool. It's an active night sky right now. We've got Venus showing up right as the sun is going down, and goes down pretty quickly right now. She's like an evening star. And then we've got Jupiter. Venus and Jupiter are both very bright planets. So those are like the two that go down first on the horizon after the sun goes down. And then there is also, we've got Mars. Mars is the red planet, the orangey red planet up there. And so it's a very planetary, beautiful sky out. Of course, we are building into the full moon this week. And so we look at the full moon weeks as a time of culmination in astrology, as a time when things sort of come to a head. We've got these 28 and a half day, 29-day lunar cycles, and the new moon we had back on the 21st of January. So the new moon signifies sort of the start of the lunar cycle, and then 2 weeks later we come to the full moon, and that is the big moment, the big expressive moment of the cycle, and then we kind of wane off of that and go into a little more of a completion phase over the last couple of weeks of the moon cycle until the next new moon. So whatever intentions we had created around the new moon back on January 21st, this is going to be coming back up. The Aquarius new moon on January 21st was very much along the themes of ending the old and starting the new. There is a push and a pull in the sign of Aquarius right now, because we have Aquarius, the sign of freedom, the sign of self-expression, the sign of awakenings and revolution, and revelation comes with the energies of Aquarius. We have the planet of Saturn in the sign of Aquarius right now. Saturn brings a very serious vibe everywhere he goes. He's like the rule maker. He's definitely the father figure that is making sure that you've cleaned your bedroom and done all the dishes before you leave the house. Also, where are you going? Who are you going to be with? And when are you coming home? That is Saturn, laying down the rules, trying to figure things out, trying to lay the foundation of the situation, bring a little bit of awareness to responsibility, is what Saturn does. And so during this time of Saturn transiting Aquarius, it's been a push-pull. It's been the old versus the new. Saturn is trying to come through Aquarius and say, wait a second, we need to pay attention to tradition. We need to also realize that the ancestors, did things in certain ways, and past tribal people, had done things in certain ways. And Saturn brings awareness to the past and to things that, may even be a little outworn, or, things that maybe it's time to bring a new replacement. And so this push and this pull has been very interesting over the last couple of weeks. If you've been feeling that, very much part of this new moon in Aquarius that we've been working with the last 2 weeks. Well, this week we are coming into the full moon in Leo. This is happening at 16 degrees, 40 minutes of Leo. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you have your own astrological birth chart you were born with, and you can get a copy of that from lots of different online sources. Pam Gregory has a link on her website to a great resource for that if you need to access your own astrological birth chart. But basically, you have a map of where the planets were when you were born, and so you can go to this map and look at 16 degrees, 40 minutes of Leo and decipher whether there are planets right near there. There are planets in your chart that are being aspected either by, a 90-degree angle, or maybe in an opposition, so things that are directly across from each other. All of these energies bring with them a certain cocktail that you become your personality, things that we work with over the course of our life, certain sort of karmic things that we were born with, and we work out through the course of our life, maybe throughout the course of lifetimes, because in terms of astrology, the energies, they keep going, they keep getting recycled and cycled, right? And so we come back around to these things in this karmic fashion. So we look at 16 degrees of Leo in our chart, say that we've got, Venus right there. And so we just know that there is going to be a big expression around themes, including Venus. Venus is our relationships, very much love and trust and things that we value in our life represented by Venus. So if you had Venus in your birth chart at 16 degrees of Leo, this full moon would very much be activating themes around your relationship. So that's how you kind of read your birth chart or look at another person's birth chart in regards to like what is currently in the sky. It's an endless sort of rabbit hole that you can really go down if you are interested at all in your birth chart and you're having trouble finding that. Please come to me. You can send me an email at thecosmiccommunity@kpov.org. I would love to be able to help you to enhance the way that you use this astrological information. And in doing so, we enhance the way that we work with the energies that are available to us on this planet, that are available to us in our day-to-day. And we try and go, quote unquote, with the flow. Because when we try and push too hard against things, sometimes we can really get taught lessons that we might not even know we needed to learn. 4444444 on my clocks here. Stacey Dredd, Galactic Ambassador in the Cosmic Community. I am talking this week about the astrology. We have a big full moon on Sunday the 5th. That's happening on the 5th of February. And this day is going to bring with it very much this big full moon expression of Leo energy and themes. Leo is a heart-centered energy. Leo is the representation of the home and the hearth, that hearth fire that burns just like our heart beats inside of us, and where all of the people gather around that hearth in the home. This is where we can come back to ourselves and gather around this inner light inside of us, this main vein, this big old heart of ours inside. And we're talking about the heart as a physical, biological, like it is the reason, right? It's one of the big reasons why we're alive, that this heart keeps pumping. But we also are talking about the sort of spiritual heart, right? The place where we go when we need to feel secure, when we need to feel love. I love different people that I follow. They say if you're having a rough time, having a hard time communicating with other people or communicating with yourself, that the best thing you can do is to come back to the heart and put your hands over your heart and feel your heart beating, and that will ground you into your true purpose and the true intentions, behind whatever's happening in that moment, so that it grounds you and that you can be calm moving forward. We use the heart as this beautiful, almost like a GPS device in our lives, Oh, well, I'm going to go with how my heart feels, And we all know that we don't feel emotions from our physical, biological heart. So we're talking about the heart on so many different levels here. Just interesting. I'm just going to throw that out there so you can think about that a little bit too. Leo energy is leadership energy. This is big time, step up and lead the crew and do something amazing and be a good role model and a good leader, that shows strength and also is a bold energy. You have to be a little bold to be able to get out in front of people and say, hey guys, follow me. I've got an idea, but that's what leaders do. They're not afraid to stand up and say, hey, I've got an idea. I'm pretty confident in it and I'm willing enough to be vulnerable right now to open up and say, hey, maybe you want to try this out. And so in that, you have to kind of have a little bit of pride too. And pride is a big time Leo word because the lion, of course, is the symbol, the mascot, I guess you could say, of the astrological sign of Leo. We're talking lion energy. And so what comes to mind with that, beauty, for one, comes to my mind. The glistening of the lion's mane, the beautiful way that they strut and hold themselves, the way that a lion holds its head high, maybe not after losing a battle or something and kind of sulking and running away, but most of the pictures you see of lions, gosh, they're just so majestic and so beautiful and so prideful, right? I mean, it's called a lion pride. So I don't know if that has anything to do with that, the way that a lion looks to carry its pride, and pride can go different directions. Same with ego, same with being too bold, being overly confident, right? That can also be an expression with Leo energy, that we're so confident, we're so bold, we're so overtaken by what we're invested in, that it can be a little blinding, right? And so we do need to be careful in this, that we've thought about, the ripple effect. What is going to be the ripple effect if I reach out and say to everybody in this group right now, hey, I've got an idea and I think that we should go for it. What kind of effect is that going to have on everybody? We can have definitely a very forward kind of energy when we deal with Leo energy. The representation, the planetary ruler, I should say, is the sun. The sun, of course, is a star, but in astrology, it's considered one of these planetary rulers. And so Leo energy is as bright and as warm and as overtaking as the sun is, lucky for us, we are in this zone where we are not too far away from the sun. We are not too close to the sun. We're right in the middle. And this is also something to consider when we're working with Leo energy, right? We are going to be these bright, shining lion sunbeams this weekend with this full moon. And so we say, okay, everybody, I'm coming into the room. Let's make sure we got our sunglasses on and some sunscreen because I'm feeling hot, Know that your energy and all the energy of other people is going to be under the influence of this full moon that we have this weekend. It is known that full moons, the emergency rooms, they have more people working in them over the full moon weekends. The police forces, they have a couple more people on duty over the full moon weekends because it is, the data shows that these times become a time for big expressions, so take care of yourself. The idea with lion energy is to remain calm until you're needed to burst out, right? Another thing with lions that I feel like I watch a lot of OPB, so I love all the programs, the nature programs of all the lion prides in Africa, and you definitely see them laying around all day long until they get hungry. And then they have this short burst of excitement hunting, and they get that done, and then they eat and they spend the rest of the day laying around again. And so it's really interesting dealing with the Leo energy. There's a couple of other components to what's happening this weekend. We do have on February 3rd, we have the sun, of course, being the star of the show this week, making a square with the planet of Uranus. Uranus is the planet of Aquarius, the ruling planet of Aquarius. And so this is going to kind of trigger those Aquarius themes, maybe the sun bringing out some big expressive, moments where you're going to have to tell people, to put a little sunscreen on before you, express yourself, that there could be a little extra excitement, a little extra surprises, it could be a surprise upset energy. There could be just some sort of like hot ticket energy going into this weekend also. So staying in that still state, until you are required, to make those big, bold moves, those survival moves, but taking care of your energy over the weekend is going to be definitely important. And our nerves are very much associated with Uranus. So if we feel nervy, we feel a little unnerved, take care of that. Take care of yourself. Take those moments, put your hands over your heart, feel your heart beating. Oh, the other one that I love is actually pretend like your heart is like your lungs. And take a deep breath and imagine all of the air filling up your heart and then breathing out love to the world. I know this stuff sounds a little cliche, a little cheesy, but there's a reason why it's cliche, and that's because it works and it's and it's a part of everybody. It's something that everybody can access. You don't need YouTube videos. You don't need call-in phone numbers or self-help books. All those things are great. I reach out for those things when I need them also. But one thing that we have accessible to us all the time is this inner fire that burns. There's going to be some tension in relationships this weekend as we're coming through another Venus-Mars square. Venus and Mars are the cosmic lovers. They are making their third and final square before they make another conjunction and start a new cycle soon. So this is a reckoning point for relationships. This is a decision-making energy. This is time to make a decision and just follow it moment. This is the closing square. So this is a moment when we, in relationships, decide, make that decision and follow through with it. Mars is just recently come direct. We have Mercury direct. We have all the planets moving direct. It is a great time to take steps forward and to listen to your heart and to feel into the things that are requiring your attention right now and take steps to fulfill your dreams, to fulfill your goals, to fulfill the things in your life that you are wanting to see manifest. That's why we study astrology. That's why I study astrology. Also, I think it's really interesting just to watch out in the world. So continue to take care of yourselves and take care of other people as you see these energies and themes come through this week. I'll be back next Tuesday, and I will have another cosmic community for you then. So be well, and I will talk to you then. Take care. Peace. Thank you for listening to the Cosmic Community Podcast. More can be found at kpov.org/thecosmiccommunity.